What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Crosswords, puzzling yourself. I got your mind twisted. Unrealistic wavelength draining on your brain strength inflicted. Crosswords puzzling your doubt, questioning your own mental health. Yeah, it's like a maze within itself. Yeah, check the grimy, slimy, criminal individuality, searching for the dark night, lurking in the shadows of the city. Hero with Jiggy, my crime committee, robbing every car from piggy bank blind. Take a journey through the mind of a red line. Not a problem, no problem. A body for a price, not a problem, no problem. The red once again, it's the mind bender, 3-time felony offender, demented, brain cemented, mixing the blender, illusion, mass confusion, question mark, cluesing, what, where, why, who's in, quiz, time to ask yourself who it is, shiesty be your low, underhanded biz, invaded brothers' wigs. Can I live? Corrupting, bringing all the misery and suffering. Pain you couldn't cure with the buffering. Rotating, ridiculous, rapid fire riddle. Back, get trapped in the middle of the red line. To the gem, there ain't no sequel, not a problem. Big up to all my people, not a problem. The red line. Observe if you will. I'm in my hideout in the back of the hills. I crack a ball, then I quarter by the mill. Co-defendants Johnny Blaze and Bobby Stills. We was blazing hot wheels. Turn the corner, you can hear the wheels squeal. On that ass fast was the Batmobile. I can tell by the demon on the grill. This was real. Alley cat screaming. I hear the trash can, garbage everywhere. Money flying out the bags and trying to escape. Hold on with the cape, or else he be headed upstate. It's the red blood. Suicide, not a problem. Speaking homicide, not a problem. You wanna talk in the side, not a problem. It's the red line. No love.
The red line.
Feel good, don't it? And you flown got
Misael, peace, boy, fools and tools. Yeah, man, it's one of my favorite songs ever on any soundtrack. That's in the Batman soundtrack. It's the Method Man, the Riddler. I think P. Diddy should do a remix called The Diddler. The Diddler! He could start off his verse, 3-time felony offender, demented. The Diddler. I didn't come up with that idea. That was Rock from Helter Skelter said that. I thought that was hilarious. The Diddler. I should have recorded the rain yesterday, man. It was coming down so hard. I never seen raindrops that big, ever. I mean, it was like somebody was shoveling water out of the sky. It flooded in like 2.2 seconds. I should have recorded it because it was insane. Who's ever heard of the pederasty? I think that's how you say it. Pederasty? Politicians. I said all those fake fucks is a thorn in the lion's paw. Strong as oxen, boxing, breaking iron jaws. People quick to talk shit then call the law. Pederasty politicians and tinniest cults. Insidious narcissistic skeletons hidden in vaults. Vaults, not bolts, vaults. Anyway, people should look into these sick motherfuckers who think it's called Antinius, yeah. Some Greek god they worship that was a diddler. Pederast. Yeah, that's what it means. That's what I said. Um, and that's Russian? Pederasty, politicians, Antinius cults, insidious narcissism, skeletons hidden in vaults. It's thrown in our face, propaganda campaigns, karma they will embrace with severe pain. Surgical master using instruments so arcane. The good old book says an eye for an eye, but law has no equality when real justice is applied. Peace, Candy. Russian don't discriminate between the two. Yeah, they're straight up fucking, what is it called? They're straight up goats. Only in America do they take a bad saying and turn it into something good. Don't go to Russia and call yourself a goat. It won't work out too well. Nice. If anyone would like to come up, it's an open panel. But other than that, let's see if anyone comes up before I bore people. With my what if Manly P. Hall wasn't so manly? Oh, I fucking did this. Forgot where I left off. I think it was right after thoughtlessness. I think so. I don't know why it's Borgin. Because I'm not using any headphones. Hold on, let me see. Am I Borgin to anyone else? What's up, Three Fingers? JG. 9/11 was an outer space job. Those shits were flying saucers. Fuck did I leave off, man? Could have sworn. Um, Alright, yeah, the presence of the master. That's where I left off. Yeah, maybe it's just you, boy, who's hearing some Borgin, man. You shouldn't have put that chip in your brain. I don't remember reading all this yesterday. I must have. My fault. I'm just trying to see where I left off yesterday. I honestly don't remember reading any of this stuff. But I do remember leaving off right here. So, the presence of the master. Because I am a master mason. Alright. My bad. The presence of a master. I gave it 10 minutes to see if people hit the link, so now I will bore people with reading. The presence of the master. You know, JG, your master. The Mason believes in the great architect, the living keystone of creation's plan, the master of all lodges, without whose spirit there is no work. Let him never forget that the master is near, day and night. Let him feel the presence of the supreme or overshadowing one. The all-seeing eye is upon him. Day and night this great orb measures his depths, seeing into his innermost souls of souls, judging his life, reading his thoughts, measuring his aspirations, and rewarding his sincerity, really. To this all-seeing one, he is accountable to none other, excuse me, he is accountable to none other must he account. This spirit passes with him out of the lodge and measures the mason in the world. This spirit is with him when he buys and sells. It is with him in his home. By the light of day and by the darkness of night it judges him. It hears each thoughtless word. It is the silent witness to every transaction of life, the silent partner of every man. By the jury of his acts each man is judged. Let every mason know that his obligations include not only those within the narrow lodge, bordered by walls of stone and brick, but those in the great lodge, walled only by the dome of heaven. The valley of, I think that says Jehoshaphat. Yeah, Jehoshaphat waits for him, who is false to any creature as surely as it waited for the breakers of the cosmic oath. I was laughing because this so-called God knows everyone's thoughts, right? Knows that everyone's poor and starving and yet does nothing about it. This almighty, all-knowing God that flies in the clouds and watches what everyone does, but only rewards people who sacrifice. My bad, taking my time. It says every true Mason has come into the realization that there is but one lodge, and that is the universe. This is all. I think this is all Manly P. Hall saying this, and he wasn't even a Mason. And but one brotherhood, composed of everything that moves or exists in any of the planes of nature. He realizes that the Temple of Solomon is really the temple of the solar man. Solomon, the king of the universe, manifesting through his three primordial builders. He realizes that his vow of brotherhood and fraternity is universal, and that mineral, plant, animal, and man are included in the true Masonic craft. His duty as an elder brother to all the kingdoms of nature beneath him is well understood by the true craftsman, who would rather die than fail in this, his great obligation. He has dedicated his life upon the altar of his God, and is willing and glad to serve the lesser through the powers he has gained from the greater. The mystic Mason, in building the eyes that see behind the apparent ritual, recognizes the oneness of life manifesting through the diversity of form. Now, who believes that or knows that? They think it said right here that nature is beneath him. I don't know if I agree with that. I think nature's above everything. The true disciple of ancient masonry has given up forever the worship of personalities. With his greater insight, he realizes that all forms and their position in material affairs are of no importance to him compared to the life which is evolving within. Those who allow appearances or worldly expressions to deter them from their self-appointed tasks are failures in Masonry. For Masonry is an abstract science of spiritual unfoldment. Material property is not the measure of soul growth. The true Mason realizes that behind these diverse forms there is one connected life principle, the spark of God in all living things. It is this life which he considers when measuring the worth of a brother. It is to his life that he appeals for a recognition of spiritual unity. He realizes that it is the discovery of the I'm always skipping lines. The discovery of this spark of unity, which makes him a conscious member of the Cosmic Lodge. Most of all, he must learn to understand that this divine spark shines out as brightly from the body of a foe as it does from the dearest friend. The true Mason has learned to be divinely impersonal in thought, action, and desire. The true Mason is not creed bound. He realizes with the divine illumination of his lodge that a Mason, his religion, must be universal. Christ, Buddha, or Muhammad. The name means little, for he recognizes only the light and not the bearer. He worships at every shrine, bows before every altar, whether in temple, mosque, or cathedral. Realizing with his truer understanding the oneness of all spiritual truth, all true Masons know that they only are heathen who have great ideals, do not live up to them. They know that all religions are but one story told in diverse ways for peoples whose ideals differ, but whose great purpose is in harmony with Masonic ideals. North, east, south, and west stretch the diversities of human thought, and while the ideals of man apparently differ, when all is said and the crystallization of form with its false concepts is swept away, one basic truth remains: all existing things are temple builders, laboring for a single end. No true Mason can be narrow, for his lodge is the divine expression of all broadness. There is no place for little minds in a great work. The true Mason must develop the powers of observation. He must seek eternally in all the manifestations of nature for the thing which he has lost because he failed to work for them. He must become a student of human nature and see in those around him the unfolding and varying expressions of one connected spiritual intelligence. The great spiritual ritual of his lodge is enacted before him in every action of his fellow man. The entire Masonic initiation is an open secret, for anyone can see it played out on the city streets, corners, as well as in the untracted wilderness. The Mason has sworn that every day he will extract from life its message for him and build it into the temple of his God. He seeks to learn the things which will make him a greater service in the divine plan, a better instrument in the hands of the great architect, who is laboring eternally to unfold life through the medium of living things. The Mason realizes, moreover, that his vows taken of his own free will and accord give him the divine opportunity of being a living tool in the hands of a master workman. The true Master Mason enters his lodge with one thought uppermost in his mind: how can I, as an individual, be a greater use of the universal plan? What can I do to be worthy to comprehend the mysteries which are unfolded here? How can I build the eyes to see the things which are concealed from those who lack spiritual understanding? The true Mason is supremely unselfish in every expression and application of the powers that have been entrusted to him. No true brother seeks anything for himself, but unselfishly labors for the good of all. No person who assumes a spiritual obligation for what he can get out of it is worthy of applying for the position even of water carrier. The true light can come only to those who, asking nothing, gladly give it all. The true brother of the craft, while constantly striving to improve himself mentally, physically, and spiritually through the days of his life, never makes his own desires the goal for his works. He has a duty, and that duty is to fit into the plans of another. He must be ready at any hour of the day or night to drop his own ideals at the call of the builder. The work must be done, and he has dedicated his life to the service of those who know the bonds of neither time nor space. He must be ready at any moment's notice, and his life should be turned into preparing himself for that call, which may come when he least expects it. The Master Mason knows that those most useful to the plan are those who have gained the most from the practical experience of life. It is not what goes on within the titled lodge which is the basis of his greatness, but rather the way in which he meets the problem of daily life. The true Masonic student is known by his brotherly actions and common sense. Every Mason knows that a broken vow brings with it a terrible penalty. Let him also realize that failure to live mentally, spiritually, fuck him. That shit's a piece of crap. All that noise for what? Every Mason knows that a broken vow brings with it a terrible penalty. Let him also realize that failure to live mentally, spiritually, and morally up to one's highest ideals constitutes the greatest of all broken oaths. When a Mason swears that he will devote his life to the building of his father's house, and then defiles his living temple through the perversion of mental power, emotional force, and active energy, he is breaking a vow which imposes not hours but ages of misery. If he is worthy to be a Mason, he must be great enough to restrain the lower side of his own nature, which is daily murdering his Grand Master. He must realize that a misdirected life is a broken vow, and that daily service, purification, and the constructive application of energy is a living invocation. which builds within and draws to him the power of the Creator. His life is the only prayer acceptable in the eyes of the Most High. An impure life is a broken trust, a destructive acting is a living curse. A narrow mind is a strange cord around the throat of God. So that's why they probably wrap a cord around their neck. All true Masons know that their work is not secret, but they realize that it must remain unknown to all who do not live the true Masonic life. Yet, if the so-called secrets of Freemasonry were shouted from the housetops, the fraternity would be absolutely safe. For certain spiritual qualities are necessary before the real Masonic secrets can be understood by the brethren themselves. Hence, it is that the alleged exposures of Freemasonry printed by the thousands and tens of thousands since 1730 down to the present hour cannot injure the fraternity. They reveal merely the outward forms and ceremonies of Freemasonry. Only those who have been weighed in the balance and found to be true, upright, and square have prepared themselves by their own growth to appreciate the inner meanings of their craft. To the rest of their brethren, within or without the lodge, the sacred rituals must remain. As Shakespeare might have said, words, words, words. Within the Mason's own being is concealed the power which, blazing forth from his purified being, constitutes the builder's word. His life is the sole password which admits him to the true Masonic lodge. His spiritual urge is the sprig of acacia, which through the darkness of ignorance still proves that the spiritual fire is all right. Within himself he must build those qualities, which will make possible his true understanding of the craft. He can show the world only forms which means nothing. The life within is forever concealed until the eye of spirit reveals it. Yeah, like the serpent coil. Peace to I am Max and Seriously Ray. The Master Mason realizes charity to be one of the greatest traits which the Elder Brother have unfolded, which means not only properly regulated charity of the purse, but charity in thought and action. He realizes that all the workmen are not on the same step, but wherever each may be, he is doing the best he can according to his light. Each is laboring with the tools that he has, and he, as a Master Mason, does not spend his time in criticizing, but in helping them to improve their tools. Instead of blaming poor tools, let us always blame ourselves for having them. The Master Mason does not find fault, he does not criticize, nor does he complain. But with malice towards none and charity towards all, he seeks to be worthy of his Father's trust. In silence he labors, with compassion he suffers, and if the builders strike him as he seeks to work with them, his last word be a prayer for them. The greater the Mason, the more advanced in his craft, the more fatherly he grows, the walls of his lodge broadening out until all living things are sheltered and guarded within the blue folds of his cape. From laboring with the few, he seeks to assist all, realizing with his broader understanding the weakness of others, but the strength of right. A Mason is not proud of his position, he is not puffed up by his honor, but with a sinking heart is eternally ashamed of his own place, realizing that it is far below the standard of his craft. The farther he goes, the more he realizes that he is standing on slippery places, and if he allows himself for one moment to lose his simplicity and humility, a fall is inevitable. A true Mason never feels himself worthy of his craft. A student may stand on the top of Fool's Mountain, self-satisfied in his position, but the true brother is always noted for his simplicity. A Mason cannot be ordained or elected by ballot. He is evolved through ages of self-purification and spiritual transmutation. There are thousands of Masons who are brethren in name only, for their failure to exemplify the ideals of their craft makes them unresponsive to the teachings and purpose of Freemasonry. The Masonic life forms the first key of the temple, and without this key, none of the doors can be opened. When this fact is better realized and lived, Freemasonry will awake and speak the words so long withheld. The speculative craft will then become operative, and the ancient wisdom, so long concealed, will rise from the ruins of its temple as the greatest spiritual truth yet revealed to man. The true Master Mason recognizes the value of seeking for truth wherever he can find it. It makes no difference if it be in the enemy's camp, if it be truth, he will go there gladly to secure it. The Mason Lodge is universal, therefore all true Masons will seek through the extremities of creation for their light. The true brother of the craft knows and applies one great paradox. He must search for the high things in lowly places and find the lowly things in high places. The Mason who feels holier than his fellow man has raised a barrier around himself through which no light can pass. For the one who in truth is the greatest is the servant of all. Many brethren make a great mistake in building a wall around their secrets, for they succeed only in shutting out their own light. Their divine opportunity is at hand. The time has come when the world needs the ancient wisdom as never before. Let the Mason stand forth and by living the doctrines which he preaches, show to his brother man the glory of his work. He holds the keys to truth. Let him unlock the door, and with his life and not his words preach the doctrine which he has so long professed. The fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man were united in the completion of the eternal temple, the great work, for which all things came into being, and through which all shall glorify their Creator. Masons awake. Your creed and your craft demand the best that is in you. They demand that sanctifying of your life, the regurgitation of the body, the purification of your soul, and the ordination of your spirit. Yours is the glorious opportunity, yours is the divine responsibility. Accept your task and follow in the footsteps of the Master Mason of the past, who with the flaming spirit of the craft have illuminated the world. You have a great privilege, the privilege of illuminated labor. You may know the ends to which you work, while others must struggle in darkness. Your labors are not to be confined to the title lodge alone, for a Mason must radiate the qualities of his craft. Its light must shine in the home and in his business, glorifying his association with his fellow men. In the lodge and out of the lodge, the Mason must represent the highest fruitage of sincere endeavor. The priest of Ra. I'm gonna stop there for a minute. It's a short book. The robe of blue and gold. Interesting. Which one? Yeah, I just like it because, you know, I'll replace the universe with the realm. It's the same difference. I'm gonna give it like Peace Valley Parks. I'm gonna give it like 10 minutes, see if anyone comes up. If not, I'll read this next chapter. So I could finish this book. It's called The Lost Keys of Freemasonry by Manly P. Hall. Probably be the 6th book I read by him, probably more. I like that, Fools and Tools. I like that. You in reverse. I never looked at it like that. I was too busy stuck on the you and I for the universe. Huh. Shit. Who created that, you in reverse? Sometimes I overlook the simplest things. I used to be the type that blamed religion and all that. It's not the religion, it's itself. People got to release themselves from the prison they built within themselves. And I say the truth will set you free. I'm saying the truth, be true to yourself, and it'll set you free. I think I should go over my rhymes, you know, bar for bar, so I could break them down like fractions, so people will understand them, and then they might appreciate them more. Yeah, I love people having different perspectives. Um, I seen this short. What's the guy's name, man? I always forget his name. This black guy. He says a lot of interesting things. He has a lot of good quotes too. Can't think of his name, but he talks about the cosmic glasses, and he was saying once you put them on, you know, and you see through the bullshit. Uh, you can't force anyone to wear those glasses. You know, that's up to them. People don't, you know, I used to get a little agitated when people didn't see things like my friends the way I do, but now I've grown out of that because it's not up to me. It's up to their self. You know, nobody told me to do anything. Everything that I've figured out or was through experience and through wanting to know more and knowing there was more to be seen and heard. And you know, some people just don't give a fuck. You know, people are, you know, I've heard it all. What does it matter if we're on a ball or this or that? They don't pay my bills. And that's the misery in life I don't want, man. I had that at a younger age to just be focused on chasing money and paying bills. That's misery. I don't want to die miserable like my gramps or many other people I've watched die in misery. To me, that's a waste of life, in my opinion. Right. Me too, Candy. It took a while. Because, like I always say, people look outward when they could look within. Alright, well, I guess I'll read The Priest of Ra. I gave it time to see if anyone wanted to come up. Thought I dropped the link. You know, anyway. Alright, The Priest of Ra. And if anyone wants to come up, there's the link. It's open topic, whatever, people want to speak on. Other than that, I'm going to keep reading. What words are there in modern language to describe the great temple of Amun-Ra? It now stands amidst the sand of Egypt, a pile of broken ruins. But in the heyday of its glory, it rose a forest of plumbed pillars holding up roofs of solid sandstone, carved by hands long laid to rest. I don't feel like reading this. That raw shit boarded me out the first two lines. Huh. Hmm. It's all good, Candy. There ain't much. I mean, I didn't plan anything anyway to panels are getting played out. Unless, you know, you got people like Dom or, you know, Kimbar, people that come up that, other than that, most people can't even fucking go up on the panel without complaining about somebody else starting arguments or their ego getting flared up. Yeah, that's crazy. They did people wrong when they did that, but people did it by choice. Me, I wouldn't have done none of that. I wouldn't have taken shizzle. That's wild, man. I've taken one jab since my mother let the doctors give me when I was born, and it was in like 14 years ago, and I regretted it quick. I don't know why my dumbass did it, man. I regret it to this day. Who knows what damage it could have caused inside. But, I guess, hopefully, I don't have to learn a very tough, valuable lesson. I could read about some witchcraft. Good old witchcraft, the craft of a witch. Meditation, dreams, and the minor Sabbaths. Didn't I read that one already? Yeah, I read that. Posture, technique, the source. Nuremberg Chronicles. This world's fucked. I'm surprised I haven't started round 2 of that whole dart and dart injecting. Puma, what are you doing? Ah, that's probably why my voice was fucked up. I forgot to turn off my headphone. Cortisol. I think, like I was talking about with Dom the other day, like the reason they push fear and I think the mindset we project has an effect on everything as a whole. So if everyone's in a fear mind state, it's going to affect everything, even plant life, which is proven when you grow plants. You know, if you got a negative energy towards the plants, it ain't gonna grow well. Yeah, I gotta get working out again myself. I'm back. My bad. I know you guys, everyone's talking anyway in the chat, so that's cool. Somebody said those are my numbers. 9, 6, and 9. And that's a lot of. Didn't you put a video out, Candy, of you cleaning all your crystals? I have a few. I've showed mine. I don't have many. I have. I forgot what that stone of crystal. It's the black. I got this stuff around my doors and windows. I think it's called something. No, I got the picture in the way. I forgot what that's called. Looks like coal, but it's not. No, in fact, you could really see the Pisces fish at the center. It also reminds me, like I say, an apple. And I think that's the apple that contains all the information, the ether, the knowledge and wisdom. That's the fucking apple. It also looks like the left and right side of the brain with the third eye. It also looks like an hourglass. And it also gives you the 8 too, infinity symbol. Well, yeah, I think this one right here is the best. And it's wild how the ancestors knew this, you know. Uh, and we were given a ball, right? They stripped us out of the cosmic egg and put us on the fucking crust. As children, you're taught to trust these teachers and obey their authority. When these people had us moonwalking towards stupidity and ignorance, they had us going backwards. It's like we started off at the tip of the pyramid, beaming with light, and then we were kicked off the fucking pyramid down to the bottom. Below the bottom level, we were kicked down to hold up the pyramid. That's how low they kicked us down. From the native tribes, I'm not going to name anyone in particular because they all have. I think this is the Navajo tribe. As you can see, the crossroads, the cross. It's almost like the Christian church is bringing the North Pole to you, right, with the cross. They're trying to bring the crossroads. The real crossroads is at the pole, I think. Even though the crossroads is within everyone too, but I'm saying like the crossroads for this realm where the elements mix. There's the yellow brick road. I think this isn't Mayan. I think this is Navajo too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Yeah, I know the moon has some sort of effect because of the light and stuff. Maybe whatever the moon is, I have no clue. But I know it's not a rock. And as far as the tides, I think that has to do with this again. This right here at the center. That's what I think controls the tides. The sacred bird of heaven. So they like to use birds or to express this higher spiritual level compared to the serpent or the dragon they use too. That physical realm. I don't know what this is, but it's just a dope picture. I don't think it has anything to do with anything, but hey. I showed some of these already, but it won't hurt to show them again. Shit. The only heavens I know is the ones within. And the word heaven, the word heaven to um, define stars in the bodies of light. That's what I use it for. But as far as the biblical heavens, I ain't fucking with that shit. You know, that God that allegedly loves everyone is dumping its trash onto the earth. Kind of reminds me of when America opens their borders, all the other countries dump their trash into our country. No, I'm joking. That's what I've heard, that all the other countries let all their worst prisoners go. Be like, you can go to America. Ooh, I like that, Candy. Heaven is head, and the heel is hell. The sole of your feet. And it's kind of, the way the human body's made, the two legs are split like a fork, or like negative and positive you'd plug into the outlet. The in and out. Yeah, you can debunk this light years away. All you got to do is, even when I told some people I know this, or the expression on their face, you know, I tell people on a clear day, depending how high you are, you can only barely see down the street. Um, but you could look up. So your perspective don't let you really see an entire street. It'll start to blur and all that. So, and I tell people, but you mean you can look up and see light years away, stuff light years away, whatever that might be, in measurement. And then they'll come and say, oh, but you could the sun. Look at the sun. It's 50 times the size of Earth, which you could debunk that too. Um, the pictures they show of the sun and the Earth is like a little crumb. That don't make any sense when you can see the whole entire sun over the horizon, and then it comes up over your head. So yeah, all their shit is a fucking joke. All the stuff they give, and then when you debunk it, these physicists and all these clowns say we're crazy. The tree of life. Like, yeah, I'm stuck on that, man. One day I thought, because I was reading about HARP and how HARP they talk about tapping into the aurora borealis. So I don't know. I was looking at the Taurus field here. I said, man, that motherfucker looks like an apple. Trying to find this whole painting from India. It's wild how we get the ball. The BAAL, the ball. And then they give you this. Looks like a bell or a flashlight. The Big Bang. Yeah, the Big Bang, when the male and female come together, and that big explosion that creates life. That's about it. It's only Big Bang. Yeah, I don't know about reincarnation, but it's a possibility. Yeah, who would want to make the mistake to keep returning to this prison cell? It's like a prison within a prison within a prison. So much so you build your own prison within yourself. Yeah, that sounds. I think the energy is eternal too. Person, we're not born with this personality. It took years to build it up, right? So that's well said, Candy. I like that. I was amped up. Oh well, that's in the way. A couple years ago, I went through every single, damn near, I did all continents, but as far as like every tribe, and there's so many that I got over 300 different cosmology pictures, and I like this. This is one of my favorite, the Mayan with the tree of life in the center, and this is my other favorite, the Hindu cosmology, because it's a Tesla coil. Jesus Christ will arrive in the Chrysler. Huh. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest tricks and lies is this heaven that you go to when you die, and this hell, which is like controlled through fear and the promise. It's almost like, you're tricked into working for these people, and you build up their cities and everything, and then when you're done, sayonara. It's just like that. That's how I see it, man. They had to figure some way to control the masses and get what they want out of everybody, right? So a lot of psychological war, a lot of different vibrational weapon. It's like a weapon of vibration. These words can be used as a weapon or something good, but these fucking religious salesmen, some of them are really good at being magicians, and they're good at selecting certain words, and you know, the tone of their voice, all that plays a part. Yeah, the fish, yeah, like the Pisces, Jesus. That's because the true crossroads, yeah, there's a crossroads within you, the third eye and stuff, in your toroidal field, but this is the realms, I think, crossroads, which is this, you know, which I just showed in all these cosmologies. At the center, there's a cross, and maybe that's where the elements recycle. I would love to find out and travel there, but you know, we're kept away, which raises more fucking red flags and questions of why. That's the problem, being a chess piece. I don't even want to play their game, you know? I'm too busy playing my own game of chess, let alone to be a pawn in their game. I'm more like the guy that comes along and kicks the table over while the government's playing their chess game. That's what I am to the game. It's kicking over their entire chessboard. Yeah, the fishermen, the fisher of men. They throw that bait out. It's a Pisces fish, a dead Jesus fish. It's the bait. Whoever bites onto that is going for a long ride. They immediately start building up their prison inside their self, start calling everything the devil, and yep. I think that's how most aren't successful in embracing that darker side within everybody. In my opinion, if you don't know of something, you can't defeat it, right? Or tame it, because you know nothing about it. So a lot of these Christians say devil this and devil that, but a lot of them don't do research into their so-called enemy, right? And I'll stop using Christianity. I'll say religion in general. So, and I'll leave the field. People will get butthurt if I just use Christianity all the time. So I'll say religion in general. 'Cause I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I thought you said don't follow the turd. Don't follow the herd. I always say, man, they call Jesus the sheep herder for a reason. It all made sense to me. I said, damn, that's why they call Jesus the sheep herder. Motherfucker. And, you know, I'm not saying these books don't have good information in them. But, You know, as Masons say, man, you, you can't blame the tool. You know, they use these books as their tools. And I've had people read scriptures to me, and you know, like I'll use bro. He would say stuff about scriptures and break it down, and it made a million more sense than any preacher. And preachers, to me, a lot of them stick to the revelations, right? And you know, so I used to be like, "Fuck them books," right? And you know, in reality, I can't blame the books. It's the person using that tool and manipulating. You know, so that's wild. They think of us as cattle, and does it really matter what they think? You know, I would love to create my own symbol like this. Put the chessboard in the middle, and then create somehow the stars and the sun and moon. Add that in. Yeah, but what's complaining? You know, some people can be like, "Stop complaining," but you're just merely expressing your observation of the situation. And because somebody don't like it or agree or so-called agree with it, they call it complaining, or you know, they use those words to try and tear you down or change your thought pattern. I've noticed if people are trying to tear you down or and shit, I've noticed if you ignore people that are trying to press your buttons, you know, because that's their whole goal is to piss you off because they're in a bad mood. You just ignore that shit and don't let them succeed. Pisses them off even more. Shit, that's the balance in life, though. You know, I'm grateful to be alive, and, or whatever alive means. Um, I'm grateful to be present in today. I'm grateful for a lot, but I'm also, I don't want to say ungrateful, but I also waste my energy getting mad at certain shit. What's up, Naga? I was just like, damn, what happened to Naga? I was like, he probably went on vacation. I need a vacation. So Man, I don't even want to speak on Tennessee, but huh? Shit, I'm grateful I have a channel. I'm grateful for a lot. We should start creating our own language. I think about that a lot. Like Dom brings it up a lot, and he says, "Who created the language?" Right? And it's so true. Um, I always think, what if we didn't follow along in this system, right? What language would we speak? How would there be communication? Yeah, I think we are the serpent. Serpents get a lot of bad energy because of how some of these religions realign their beliefs, and they use that book as a tool to turn the serpent energy and create these fearful deities like the devil. Me, there's nothing to be scared of the devil. Peace, Tom. The Viper. The unspoken word. Now, if you're thinking in your mind, is it the unspoken word? Or is it the spoken word? So only you could hear that thought. Guess I'm about to jump off of here. It's been a fun 2 hours. I appreciate everyone who came through. I hope you have a great day. And I'll see y'all next time. I'm out.